everything, but I feel like today we're going to talk to you about how to use it correctly during Ramadan. So this is the month of holiness. We're doing this month to get rewards and everything. So instead, we're going to tell you about how to use social media correctly. So I was in mosque this week on Friday, and my Maulana was telling us about how you should not waste your time on social media talking to friends, and instead, even if you do things like sleeping throughout the day, you're stopping yourself from doing bad things, and instead you're using your time in a way that even if you're not doing anything, you're still getting rewards for it. And so I would like to ask you, Maliha, like, do you know any ways that instead of using social media for chatting to friends, do you know ways that you can use it to help yourself get rewards?
Yeah, I mean, watching lectures even online, like it doesn't need to be like from very like Mufti Menk. You can watch these lectures. You don't have to like spend your whole time watching them, but it's just keep track of what you're doing on social media. Just reflect back. What am I watching? Is this good? Is this bad? And if you're watching just random videos every day, nothing to do with Islam, you should maybe just rethink and say, is this good? Am I spending my time wisely? And if you're not, then social media can be good because it has loads of videos, and like you don't have to go to a mosque to watch a lecture. You can just go on YouTube. It's very easy, and these lectures can just make you a better Muslim. You can rethink on yourself. You can listen to these words. You don't have to hear them personally in real life. You just need to hear them and just rethink on what you are, who you are.
By also doing this, you're not like being badly influenced. Social media is not only just about watching things, it's about the people that you're around, the things that you're saying, etc. It's a lot of things. And so if you this is a lot to do with your influences. If you have bad influences, you're not going to choose on a daily basis to go listen to Mufti Menk or like join on a live video for Islamic information or anything. So this is why this is really important about who you talk with and what you're doing on it too, as well.
Yeah, it is because you need to. I think what is the most important part, whether you're using social media or not, is your circle of friends, because the people who you hang around with, they kind of determine who you are too. Like your ways will become their ways will become your ways. They're watching really bad things on social media.
Or they're mixing with the wrong people or bad influences themselves. They're doing the wrong thing, and yeah.
Yeah, and I think social media, we just having a good circle of friends is really, really important, especially in your youth and teenage years, because that's who you grow up to be. That's the people who you spend your time with, you laugh with, you cry with, you hug with, and it's really important that you just make sure they're good friends. They follow Islam and they do all the right things, and because if they're not they don't have to be perfect, but if they're at least trying to be very good and very religious, it means the stuff that they watch is not, just.
Also, if you also do the right things on social media and everything, these people, you could influence them into becoming better people as well. My other guest, Asia, do you have anything to say about this?
I feel like it's just like who you hang around with, and maybe what they're watching or what they're
reading,
seeing,
who they hang out with,
and who they hang out with. Like they might affect like what you might be doing, because who you hang around with is who you kind of become to be. So I feel like it's just you have to think about the people you are with, so you just choose the right friends.
Not only thinking about who you're with, thinking about what you're doing as well. What you're doing, if you post something bad on social media, if you write something that you're not going to be able to erase that. Sure, you might be able to delete a comment, but you never know. People might have seen that. People might be able to share that. Once it's out there, it's out there. You're not going to be able to erase it straight, like, away. So not only is it the influences that you're under, it's also the things that you are influencing yourself as well. Yeah.
I think it's also really important for you to actually think, what are you posting online? What are you watching? What is happening to you? Because everything that you see and you hear, it kind of becomes a part of you. You say, people, for example, there's like loads of videos with loads of swearing, which is obviously really bad influence for people our age. And I think we just need to think, what are we watching? You know, because
why are we watching this?
Yeah.
For what purpose are we having? Are we getting anything out of this, or other than just gunas?
Yeah. And I think that's really important.
So not only is it the things that you watch, the things that you're around with, the things that you write, we're not only going to talk to you about the bad things about social media, there are good things as well. And not only is it just watching, if you go to watch like talks and stuff, it's other stuff like things that you read, things that you post. If you post a good thing, like if you post, it doesn't have to be a whole Mufti Menk live or anything, even if it's something small. If it's something small, it could change someone's entire choices. If they're going to go to read something bad, if they're going to go onto YouTube to watch something bad, if they see that, do you think they would change their choices? That's really what you're looking for. Are you influencing other people to do the right thing?
Yeah, and also on social media, it isn't all just a bad thing, because loads of people make the good choices and actually think about what they're posting, and they post really inspirational things. And I think that could be really inspiring for people like us, because there's not many people around us in this generation who are really dedicated, because this generation isn't as great as before, you know, like we've been going the wrong ways. We're not wearing modest clothes, we're not reciting Quran, we don't know the Prophet stories. It's all going a bit left. But if one person posts something good on social media, something religious, something that can make us think on our actions, that could, I think, really, really influence us. Because I know people on social media, not personally, but I look up to them and as like inspirational figures, and I try to be like them, because they recite every day, they pray 5 times a day, they try to be the best Muslim.
So examples of things that people do on social media, like Mufti Menk, you can easily just get him on YouTube. This is an example of something that you could do. It doesn't, like I said, it doesn't have to be a whole like lecture about Islamic ways, but if you just give people the right influence, then it will be all good.
I think because like there's obviously going to be a lot of people that post really bad things on the internet, but if you're watching the good things and you're like blocking out all those like negative bad things that are on the internet, then I feel like that it can really benefit you. For example, you're talking about Mufti Menk like videos, like there's a lot of people that watch them and they benefit a lot from them. And then on the other hand, there's these people on the internet that post like videos of loads of swearing and cursing, and nobody's benefiting anything from watching those videos.
It doesn't have to be just swearing or wrong language. It can be things like wearing the wrong clothes. People go on Instagram to boast about things that they have, the things that they wear, but is that really what we should be doing? We should not be vain or envious of other people or jealous of other people. Instagram is not what you're supposed to use that for. You're not supposed to be flexing what you have. You can use that for reaching other people. An example of this is TikTok. Lots of people just do random things on TikTok just to get likes. But what are you getting out of doing music, dancing, things that are dangerous even? and getting a few likes for it, you know?
Yeah, I think because at the end of the day, you don't answer to yourself, you answer to Allah, who you're going to stand before in the day of judgment. And if I say this again and again, we need to actually think, what are we doing? Because it does affect us. It may not affect us in this life, but in the next, it will of course affect us. And the things we do now, the things that we wear, the things that we act, is really important because it all matters in the next life.
I think this is a big problem, especially with the youth, because I know a lot of people, even Muslims, we go on the internet and we see all these videos and all these pictures, and it's corrupting our brains, making us feel much more insecure about ourselves and wanting to be like other people, like TikTokers or people on the internet, and it's really affecting our deen, and we just need to stop trying to be like those people who are not, maybe their lives aren't how it seems to be on the internet.
Also, going back to the fact that people post dangerous things for likes, are they real, or are people just liking what they see for mere seconds? Are these people people make negative comments, people judge on every little thing that you do, but some people, they just wouldn't say that like face to face, which means that people use social media as a way to kind of mask who they are on the inside. It's all like people can have a completely different character behind a screen and in real life. People could be a shy person who people don't even know their name, and online they could be the biggest like cyberbully or something. It's completely fake. People use social media as a cloak to hide. And Muslims, instead of doing negative comments or posting unimportant things that will not help anybody, you should be focusing on the things that you have, the things that Allah has blessed you with, and you should be thanking Allah for the things that you have. Instead of using the things that He's given you for wrong, you should be counting the blessings that you have, and you should be happy that you have been blessed with them.
Yeah, I also think that you should be just focusing on yourself, because we in this generation, we are surrounded by people making the wrong decisions, people wearing unmodest clothes, people cursing, people saying bad things. And I think that just that's very effective, because we're growing up with all this bad things around us. And also, for example, like having the perfect body, or like a thin waist or whatever, it's just like all this plastic surgery and unhealthy diets and things like that. It's just uncalled for, because Allah has made us like that. Why are we trying to change it? That's accept who you are. I say Alhamdulillah for what Allah has made you.
So do you have anything to say about this, Asia?
Yeah, I feel like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has granted us a lot of benefits in our life that we can take advantage of, and make sure that we live a good modest like and nurturing life. But I feel like there's a lot of people who if they're like, for example, they might post something on the internet not wearing modest clothing, and then like a Muslim might just scroll upon that and just maybe feel like, oh, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala hasn't given me the perfect body, I want to look like them, or they're so much prettier than me. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has never said that you can't look after yourself. He's just like, He's given us like so much benefits in our life that, you know, a lot of Muslims are like really wealthy, they've got good health, but they're just doing bad things. And like you should take care of yourself, but you should do it in the most Islamic way as possible.
There are also lots of hadiths about looking at the people below us, which is the whole concept of Ramadan. We are fasting to feel the way that people who are maybe less blessed than us feel, and we're supposed to be feeling empathy for them, and this is to encourage us to do the right thing. There are hadiths saying about look at the people below you and see how you should be so grateful about how much that you have, rather than looking at the people above you and feeling envy. So this is why people shouldn't use social media to show off what they have. This is so that social media should be used for people, telling people to help the people who don't have what we have.
Yeah, and also many Muslims that are making the wrong decisions, they say that, oh, it's so hard to do this, it's so hard to pray 5 times a day, it's so hard to recite Quran,
it's hard to fast, hard to wake up in the morning to have sahri.
But Islam is so easy, it's our second nature, it's such an easy religion to follow, yet this generation, we made it hard for no reason, because you say going back to the Prophet's time, everything was easy. He was the most perfect man, and life was really easy. You know, we had all these rights. Everyone was happy. But now I'm talking about the new generation. This new generation has, I don't know what's happened, but it's just there's lots of bad influence, and it's just unnecessary. Islam is so easy, yet we're making it so hard.
I feel, and also people go to Umrah, and instead of taking pictures of the Kaaba and of like other religious buildings in the area, they take pictures of the shopping malls,
things that they're buying.
Yeah, things that they're buying, and just they've gone there for one thing, to go and pray to Allah and ask for forgiveness, and instead of doing that, they've gone and they're shopping for things, which is totally fine, but
people want to remember the fact that they've gone to Umrah and to Hajj. Yeah. But it's so bad to see that people, instead of taking pictures to remind themselves of how they felt when they were circling the Kaaba, they're taking pictures of things that they've bought, when that money could be used for zakat. That money could be used for helping the people who aren't able to go to Umrah or Hajj because they don't have the money. People are using that money to buy new phones, to take the pictures, or to buy clothes that are not modest. People might buy jubbas or something like that just to go to Hajj, and then they're just ruining the rewards, the immense rewards that we get by doing things like taking pictures, etc., of the wrong things. They're doing the wrong things when they're supposed to be doing something.
I also think that people need to realize that money is just a material, and we are basically just made out of material. We are made out of clay, and like money can be burnt in fire, we can be burnt in Jahannam, and we just really need to just keep on thinking back, what are we doing? Is this going to benefit me in the next life, or is it going to be my doom in the next life? We just need to keep on asking ourselves those questions.
Yeah, so putting yourself out there can cause fitna. You can get the evil eye. People can cause, and you can get envy from people, etc. This is not what you're supposed to be doing. Social media is not for putting yourself out there. It's for making it so that other people can see what you're doing and be encouraged.
Also, a lot of, like as you were saying, social media is very fake, and this life is very real. So instead of living like a dream in a sense and showing off to everybody and making people think that you've got a perfect life, but instead you're very unhappy and you're maybe not following Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you just need to like live in the real world and stop trying to be this fake person. So yeah.
Because when you're faking who you really are, like I said, social media can just be used as a cloak, just to hide who you really are. It's completely fake. It's like encouraging people to do the wrong thing, and I feel that then that's just the energy of the people who are trying to do the right thing is just going to waste.
Yeah.
And so people can't be themselves online. They can't show who they really are. But like going back to Allah made you perfect. You don't have to be a completely different person. you are who you are. Just embrace it.
Yeah, no one is perfect. No one was perfect except the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And I think many people do want to be perfect, but I don't think that's possible. But it is possible to just keep on improving yourself, trying to be perfect, following the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, following his sunnah, praying 5 times, reciting Quran. And obviously Ramadan is here. It's the month of mercy. It's the month of cure. This is the best cure, we can pray 5 times. Our reward will be much greater than in any other month, I think. And I think this month we can really just try to improve ourselves to make us as the best Muslims we can be ourselves.
Yeah, because Ramadan is a beautiful time where you just try to be your better self, and you get so many rewards from doing this. And you can't blame Shaitan for all your bad deeds during Ramadan, because he is locked up. So if you're doing anything bad during Ramadan, he is not accountable for that. So you must always watch what you're doing, even not in Ramadan. And you just need to make sure you're doing the right things. And you can't be perfect, but you must keep trying to be a better Muslim and to better yourself in the future, inshallah.
No one, like you guys have said, no one is perfect, but that doesn't mean that you complain about your problems. You don't say you complain that you're not perfect, that you're not as good as that you want to be. But this is not what we're supposed to be doing. We're not supposed to be complaining about who we are or what we have. We're supposed to be so grateful that we even have what we have. Allah is watching. Allah can see what we're doing. He can see that we're doing things wrong or right. And if you're doing it right, you get reward. Allah is watching. No one is perfect. So even if you don't like what you are, just embrace it. If you don't like what you are, change it by doing things that praising Allah. That way you can make yourself feel way better inside. You don't have to have other people's reassurance that you're pretty or that you have money.
Also, for anybody who's been doing the wrong things and they've known they've been doing it and they've been saying, oh, maybe next Ramadan or maybe next year I'll stop. Set a goal for yourself and stop changing it. Try think oh, I'm going to do it this Ramadan. I'm going to, not even this Ramadan.
Doing it today.
This week, this day, this month, I'm going to try to do it. Try to stop whatever I'm doing or try to do something else, because I want to make my iman stronger and I want to be a better Muslim.
I think also many Muslims are held back by their past sins, but we all need to realize our past sins, no matter how big they may be, they're in the past. There's nothing we can do about it whatsoever except from ask for forgiveness. And also, Allah is focusing on who you are right now, if you're a bad Muslim or if you're a good Muslim. And I think that's just really important. We just forget about the past. Obviously not forget completely. We should learn from our mistakes. But from those mistakes, we should not be disencouraged. We should actually be encouraged. I want to be a better Muslim. We can set ourselves goals. We say, I want to be inspirational figures or role models for other people and really help other people that were in my situation, with past sins and feeling discouraged. I think that's really important too.
Yeah, because this Ramadan, I feel like we shouldn't try to better ourselves, but try to help other people, because this youth have been very corrupted with the social media, as we've been saying, and they've been trying to be like other celebrities or other people. So we should really be trying to help not just ourselves, but other people, and try to make their and your iman stronger.
Yeah. Also, social media can bring along so many ills. Not only just people wanting more, people being prideful, people being sad that they are not liked, people being angry. This can bring on so many things. Not only is social media about about having like what you want, you can also get things that you do not want, such as pride. You can be so prideful without realizing. You can be so boastful about what you have, what you get for your birthday, things like that. We shouldn't even be celebrating birthdays. You never saw the Sahaba radiallahu anhum ever celebrating Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam's birthday. You didn't see his family. You didn't even see him celebrating his own birthday. So things like that. You should not be prideful. You should not be angry. Along with all these, you can also be cyberbullied as well. I feel like that is a really important topic as well. That we should be really careful of. We can do it so easily. Like I said, like we were talking about earlier, bad comments, not liking a photo or a video. Even if it's something that you don't like, you don't have to share that with everybody else. Everybody's entitled to opinion, but that doesn't mean that it has to be everybody else's.
When you were talking about birthdays, if in a sense you're kind of celebrating and you're putting it on the internet, you're celebrating your birth, and you would never be there without your mother and your parents. So in a sense, you're putting this on the internet and you're celebrating yourselves, and you might be doing bad stuff during your holiday. And just think about your parents and the things they had to go through just so you could be born.
Yeah, and I think you should always think mainly about your mother, because remember, your
Jannah
mother
is underneath your mother's feet.
Yeah, and also your mother comes 3 times before your father, and that's a big Jannah lies at your mother's feet. And I think just, I don't know, every day even just thank her for what she's done. You know, you guys may have an argument between your parents, but if your parents are in the wrong, that doesn't mean you shout at them, you curse at them. Just try in loving ways, but mostly they are, or most of the time they are right. They're your parents. They know you, and I think it's just really important. We need to accept what they say. You know, like if they say don't do this, don't betray my trust. Betraying your trust, don't
overstep the boundaries that they have put down. Also, going back to about pride and arrogance, you can be so prideful that you think that you can argue with your parents about something that you think is right. But honestly, your parents have the experience. Your parents might have done the exact same thing with their own parents, but they know what is the correct thing. And it even an atom's weight of arrogance can stop you from entering Jannah. You might be an amazingly big Islamic influencer, or you might be really pious, but even an atom's weight of arrogance can stop you from entering Jannah. And I was told the other day that although Jannah is underneath your mother's feet, the key to the doors is in your father's hands. So that's really important as well. You don't need to argue with your parents about every little thing. Remember that they're your parents. Remember your modesty, and that you need to be, even if you think that you're right, be modest about it. And you don't need to shout. You can simply just talk, just like we're talking now. You can negotiate or find something that you guys can both agree on.
Yeah, and one of like the best Muslims are the people who actually really respect those who they grow up with. For example, their parents. The people that respect their parents, you can just tell they're good people, because their parents come first, their mother comes first, and then their father. And if they don't respect them, then what are they gonna treat others like? And I think respecting your parents should always come first. No one should pass your parents. Your parents are everything, basically.
There's like a lot of people, and they give more respect to their friends than their parents, which I think is totally wrong. Because if you don't give respect to your parents, then and you're just giving respect to your friends, then who else are you giving respect for? Because these these people that were in your life that have raised you, that has made sure that you're okay, and that has tried to set you on the right path, and you're trying to go another way from that, and you're shouting at them, and you're being very disrespectful to them. I feel like, why would you be doing that if you really like love your parents? Because a lot of people, they say, oh, I love my parents, and then they go and shout to their parents the next day, and the parents should be setting boundaries, or even if they do and you're not listening to them. And I think it's very important for you to be respecting and showing your love to your parents, like even just like a small act, like opening the door, or
making
like
breakfast
making
for them,
breakfast for
helping them make iftar.
helping them, especially this Ramadan, like there's a lot of stress that they're going through,
Just with COVID
ending, so it makes a big difference if you help them.
Also, social media can help you forget the real world. It can make you forget that your family is the most important people to you. It can make you forget about Allah. It can make you forget that right now you're on earth. You won't be going to Jannah if you're not gonna do the right things. And I feel like this is really important to remember. And there's a hadith, and it says that the pleasure of Allah is in the pleasure of your parents. So even if you smile at your parents and they smile back, or you say Jazakallah, or you help them with something, this could make it so much more different. This could just get you one more step closer to Jannah. It's really important that you do, even if it's something small, that you do things to help your parents.
Yeah, it's not always about how big. You may buy them a whole house, but it doesn't really matter if you buy them a whole house. What matters is
the thought. It's the thought that counts.
Yeah, your intentions, like the little things. And I think the little things are they form the tower, if that makes sense.
Each house has a foundation of bricks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and your parents, they've done a lot for you in your life, and then you're going and on the internet and you're doing all these haram things. Like,
this is not what your parents birthed you for.
Yeah, many people, the parents might support them in doing this, but nothing is really helping you or your parents in that case. While you're doing all these things, nothing's coming out of it. You're not getting closer to Islam or your family. So there's no point in actually doing all these things if it's just making other people happy and not yourself.
You should focus on the real things in your family and your conduct with others. And instead of doing a post on TikTok or Instagram, even YouTube, you should focus on the things that you're doing with other people. Even if it isn't your family, even if it's your friends. If your friend is going through a hard time right now, would you rather be doing a post? And not only that, there are people who would make fun of these people. They could be posting about them. Even if it's your intention to help them, it may not. People might want you to help them rather than getting likes on a post. They would want you to. They want someone to talk to. They want someone to relate to. And you could be that person. Even if you're just listening, you could be that person who just comforts them, who they want by their side when they're sad.
Yeah, and I also think that going outside with a smile on your face and laughing, I think that's really important, because you never know what that one smile could do to another person's day, because they may be having a really, really bad day, a really bad week, really bad year, I don't know, but your smile
just warms up your heart.
Yeah, it's so little, yet it's so effective. It can be so much. It can mean a lot.
Yeah, it's like just there's a lot of people and they're very upset with themselves, maybe having depression or anxiety, and seeing all these people on the internet living really supposing to be happy and perfect lives, but makes them feel, maybe even worse, thinking, oh, I don't have these type of things. But little do they know that all these people on the internet probably don't have these things either.
That it's probably all fake.
And like you said, it's like a mask for what they really have is probably the same as you. Not saying that anything's wrong with what you have, because when you have depression and anxiety, it's a terrible thing. and I know it's very hard to like go away from it, but a lot of people who have depression and anxiety don't know the things that they have in the present because they're thinking about the future or the past.
Or social media, which is not real.
Social media, yeah. And the things that they have that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given them is more than enough.
Also, the fact that these people might have depression or anxiety because of the things that they've seen on the internet, because of the things that they've pressed on, because of the things that they've seen. So instead of having to share the things that you've done good, making other people maybe feel bad or less, do it, but do it in private. You don't need to share with the world. I did this for my mum today. I did that for my dad today. I smiled at someone today. Do it in private, and you don't have to have everybody appreciate what you're doing. You and that person or the thing that you did it for, you can be happy with them.
Yeah, it's all that matters. Like, going back to the intention, your intention is all that matters. If I did something good and I told the whole world about it, say, oh, I gave a cup of water to my mum without her asking, I would tell the whole world. I don't think that's having a good intention. If someone did that, I wouldn't think that they did that action just out of kindness. I think they just do it for the likes of other people, for other people to think that they're good. But what they need to realize is they need to be good. It's all that they are being seen in the eyes of Allah. They shouldn't care about no one else. It's just Allah. That's all that matters. Allah, Allah, Allah.
And also, when you like hear all these sheikhs and their talks, they always talk about maybe their own experiences or somebody else's experiences, and whether it's good or bad, they're not doing it out of pride or just trying to show off. They're doing it to help others. And I feel like you can like share your experiences, or maybe say you've done something really good, or maybe express that you haven't done something as good as maybe people thought you might have done. But when you're like telling people this stuff, maybe they were doing or are doing the same thing that you were or are doing. So maybe they feel, oh, I'm not the only one, and maybe they want to like maybe ask for help or ask if they can get any guidance to stop themselves from doing all these things.
Again, it's about praise and reward from Allah, not from the people of the world. The people can like your posts as much as they want, but in the end, if you're doing something bad, you're not gonna be going to Jannah with that. Allah will question your intentions. So whether or not you're doing it just to help people, Allah will know what you're doing it for. So you need to make sure that even if it's something that might not be the best, make sure that your intention is in the right place.
And I also think that when people post, a picture or a video on social media, all they think about is, will it get likes, will it not? Is this a good angle, is this not? But what they really should be thinking about is, will this get me to Jannah or will this get me to Jahannam? It's one of those two. Because it's really important to just think, is this deen...
Is this helping
yeah.
me? Is this helping me to get where I want to be? Everybody wants to go to Jannah. Nobody wants to go to Jahannam or suffer punishment from Allah. That's why even if you think it's not going to do anything, if it's the wrong thing, you should be thinking, is this going to get me a reward?
Yeah, I was reading some hadiths the other day, and it was saying you don't even want to have a second or even a millisecond in Jahannam, because it will feel like 1,000 years. Because when you go there, you're going to think about all the things that you've done wrong and all the bad things that you could have prevented from you doing that. And I think everybody who wants to go to Jannah will be trying to do the right things, or are doing bad things and trying to correct themselves. You can't be wishing for Jannah and knowing that you're doing the wrong things and you don't have no intentions of stopping or continuing.
And also, our religion teaches us to travel in this world as though we are a traveler, meaning that we didn't come from here, and also we will not stay here. We will leave here, just like we'll go back to where we came from, and this is just temporary. This life is just temporary. What matters is the next life, and we just need to just think, what are we doing in this life? What have we made this life for us? Is it good or is it bad? But loads of people are making the wrong decisions just because I think when one person posts something on social media, another may be encouraged to do the same thing, whether it be a good post or a bad post in terms of Islam, halal or haram. And many more people keep on doing it, but I think it's just really important to just restrain yourself. Just don't look at that post. Don't spend 1 second looking at it, because that's not going to help you in any way possible.
This is also going to the fact that people wasting their time. People go to Tarawih. We're supposed to be doing 20 rakats. People are doing 8, and then they're leaving to do what? To go post something on social media, to go get maybe a few minutes worth more sleep, to get something to eat. What is the point in you fasted for a whole day? Surely you can wait a few more minutes. This, instead of going and leaving at just 8 rakats, you should be praying the full 20, doing dhikr. You should be going to the mosque to pray. I know that there are lots of masjids, even for women as well, doing Tarawih. You should, if you can, even if it's not at the masjid, you should try and do it in a jamaat, maybe with other people. And this is really important that you do it, even if it isn't with other people.
I think because a lot of people, they're trying to follow all the latest trends and saying, I don't care if I miss Tarawih, or I don't care if I miss Fajr. I don't care, I want to do this. Even if it doesn't help me, or even if it doesn't get loads of likes or loads of comments, I want to be like this person or this person, because I feel like their life has more meaning than mine and I want to be just like them. So a lot of people are like missing they're like not even just in Islam, like many of their religious actions, no matter what religion they are, they're missing a lot of it because they want to do the stuff that the people on social media are doing, and the people on social media are trying to be like. And I think it's really bad that you're putting all these silly trends and all these bad stuff instead of your religion.
Also, I think that it doesn't really matter if you're praying, it just matters about the intention. If you're praying with no intention whatsoever about getting reward, I think it just doesn't matter. And also, when like some people pray and look forward to finishing the prayer and carrying on whatever they were doing, I don't know, going through TikTok, watching YouTube, scrolling through Instagram. But there's some people who just want the prayer to be over, some people who look forward to the prayer being over, and some people looking forward to the reward that they will get. And there's a huge difference between those two people. The people that were looking forward for the reward, they will surely go into Jannah, because that is the most important part thing in your life is seeking Allah's approval.
And like when people are praying salah, many of them just want to, not even if they're going on the internet after, they just want to finish their salah. They think, oh, it's 2 rakats, it's fine, I'll finish it later. And they postpone it, and then it gets to dhuhr, and then they say, oh, I'll do fajr after, or I'll do isha after. And it'll get to the point where they will not pray salah for a whole day, and they'll just be on the internet, or they'll just still be doing what they're doing. So I feel like people need to recognize and make sure they have the right intention throughout the whole day. Even if you're not praying and maybe you're like starting to pray, just have that intention. Always think of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when you're doing things.
Yeah, so you should try to minimize your time on social media and focus on doing salah or dhikr instead. So a really good way of doing this, it might sound a bit silly, but you should try and make a timetable